Hi, my name is Haley Hoffman, otherwise known as A1C Hoffman. Wearing this uniform as a woman is an extreme honor because behind this uniform is a history of women trying to prove themselves worthy. According to an article by Jay Myers called Celebrating the First Enlisted Women, on March 19, 1917, Navy Secretary Josephus Daniels determined that women could be enrolled in the U.S. Naval Reserve Force and issued an order authorizing their enlistment. Women have had to fight for the right to fight. The history of women serving in the U.S. military is important for the future generations to come. Women have fought for our country for decades and continue to play a huge role in the military operations today. I have always been fascinated by the courage and confidence of the first few women who served. I have firsthand experience of what it's like being a woman in the military. I have today, but I also have learned and researched about the history of women who have served in the past. The U.S. military has been established for a very long time. The timeline of the branches plays an important role in the transition of allowing women to serve. The following information from an article titled 5 Oldest Branches of the U.S. Military lays out the timeline for the creation of the U.S. military that is today. The article stated that the first branch of the U.S. military was the Continental Army. It was established on June 14, 1775. It was then transformed into present-day U.S. Army on June 3, 1784. The Continental Navy was established on October 13, 1775, and later turned into present-day United States Navy on March 27, 1794. The Continental Marines was first established on November 10, 1775, and then turned into current Marine Corps on July 11, 1798. The Revenue Cutter Service, established August 4, 1790, was then transformed into the current-day United States Coast Guard on January 28, 1915. Finally, the U.S. Army Air Corps, created on August 1, 1907, was later transformed into current-day United States Air Force on September 18, 1947. Now that the history of the military is covered, I want to give background information about my experience being a woman in the military. I myself am currently serving with the Missouri Air National Guard. The history of women who served before me makes serving today so much more honorable. I originally had to worry about joining due to the military being a predominantly male field. According to an article titled By the Numbers, Women in the U.S. Military, noted that enlisted women make up only 2.7% of the military's frontline units. Though this number was intimidating because the percentage was so minimal, I decided to join and make a difference in the world. Ever since joining, since I was 18, I have loved every second of being in the military. Seeing the diversity of everyone from all parts of the country come together for the same purpose was very cool to me. I have made so many friends along the way, and I wouldn't change a thing about my experience so far. With my experience being so amazing, I wanted to know what it took for a woman like me to be able to join. With the first branch of the U.S. military being established in 1775, why did it take 142 years for the first woman to officially be able to enlist? Many believed that women had no place in a war zone. In that era, the woman's main job was to care for the children and maintain household work. They were thought to be physically and mentally weak, which is what created that huge time gap. With women having a lot to prove wrong, many stepped forward to eliminate gender roles. According to an article by military.com, Loretta Walsh was the first woman to officially enlist in the military and also the first female chief petty officer in the Navy, on March 21st, 1917. Another woman named Opah May Johnson was the first woman to join the United States Marine Corps on August 13th, 1918. For the Coast Guard, Myrtle Hazard became the first woman electrician in the military on January 21st, 1918. Esther Blake was the first woman in the Air Force and joined July 8th, 1918 as well. And last of all, Deborah Sampson. She was one of the many women who disguised themselves as men so that they could serve. She joined the Continental Army May of 1781. Going over the establishment of the U.S. military, my connection, what made women able to join, and the important women that created the military that is today, it is easy to see that women are amazing. Women have fought for our country for decades and continue to play a huge role in the military. In conclusion, women have always been brave and courageous. The first few women set a path for millions of women to serve and continue to serve today. The history of women is what set the course for the military in the right direction. Thank you.